Crypto Capital Group, we're back again. Here with
back.
CJ, Notorious CJ.
And JT.
Hey, you got it. That's right. Don't wear it out.
All right, so this episode will hit some DeFi, staking, tell people about interest.
You're already making it confusing. Just break it down. Talk about, I think a lot of people are interested in staking.
Yep.
And it's a term that's used in the digital asset world, but in real world, they know it is yield on CDs and whatever, they fixed income, stuff like that.
It's basically interest.
So, there you go.
That's the easy way to think of it.
Explain it. We both know all the altcoins, they're called, are not going to be around forever. There's going to be some ones that make it and some don't, just like currencies. But they all offer an opportunity to make interest on it. So if you purchase this asset class, just like you say you're purchasing a CD or a US dollar or whatever, you can actually take that and stake it and make interest. So tell us about that.
So the staking is what's used to secure the networks, okay? And how it works is, I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible. You have validators who are the main processors of the transactions. And to be with the staking, to be a validator, you have to have so many shares of your crypto stock, whichever one it may be.
Digital assets.
Digital assets, correct. So in the case of Ethereum staking, you have to have 32 Ethereum. Today's price is around $2,200 a share. So you got to have roughly $65,000-ish worth of that. And if you're a bad actor, meaning you try to manipulate the network, they slash you or take some of your shares away to try and discourage and
now
keep
you're saying scary
honest.
stuff. Keep it simple. Just taking stuff away.
That's a process of the validators.
But explain that so it doesn't sound scary.
Okay.
You just made it sound scary.
So with the regular proof of work, where you just have distributed computers,
correct.
If you control 51% of the network power,
right,
you could push through, let's just say, a false transaction, which happens on Ethereum Classic quite a bit because it was a smaller chain network.
Right.
So you can manipulate the network. The Bitcoin network, they did some studies, you would need something like $60 billion worth of equipment. Don't quote me on that exact number, but it's a ridiculous amount of money. And then by the time you deployed all that equipment, the network hash power.
So what's digital assets?
You're not going to start with that again, are you?
You're getting too just keep it simple. Like, explain to people how I'll let everybody watching right now how you can actually buy an asset class and make interest off of it. So for example, some of the top, you and I call them blue chips, the main altcoins that we watch. What's the interest rates that the yields that they provide if you purchase this asset and then you stake it, which is basically saying, I want to collect interest on that asset class? What's some examples of interest rates?
So Polkadot and Kusama are 12%, so double digit. Cardano is 4 to 6% variable. That's also a network like Polkadot. Ethereum staking is variable between 7 and 10, depending on how many are out there. And then you also have opportunities to do staking with, smaller shares. You can delegate your shares to, somebody that's valid. So there's validators and delegators.
Yeah.
To keep it simple, those are the two main aspects.
Yep.
But the staking offers, depending on the project, some of them are double digit, some are single. You also have the DeFi that's out there now, like we talked about earlier. Aave and Compound are the two biggest leaders.
You're getting to.
But you can get interest on there with any of these assets without staking.
I know that,
just
but
by
we're
depositing.
keeping it simple. So the average person out there can buy, say for example, a Polkadot, an altcoin, and they can stake it and get how much interest?
12% on that particular one today.
So because I know traditional assets trading for 25 years, 25,000 hours, I can go buy a 10-year note, Treasury note, U.S. Treasury note, and get about 1.6%. Pretty big difference.
We're blowing that out of the water right now.
So that's staking. That's available in digital assets, and that's why we like this space. So again, when you have the Office of U.S. Comptroller of U.S. Currency involved, when you have all the big banks, when you have banks becoming U.S. chartered that accept digital assets.
Anchorage Bank, first crypto bank out there.
There you go. So, and you can actually borrow on your assets as well, and you can collect 8, 10, 12% interest rates. That's why we like staking.
Yeah, and the DeFi, the decentralized finance, that's just disrupting bank. It's just banking done better.
That's the next subject, but yes, it's
But
a
as
very
far as
important subject.
If you think of these DeFi platforms as a bank, to keep it simple, you can deposit your different assets and make
And
interest
again,
on them.
I always like to take his brain and keep it simple, stupid, KISS. And basically, DeFi means it's not centralized in a government in the United States or South America or whatever country. It's global. There's nobody in charge of it. It's basically a bunch of people that are smart on the blockchain, which is basically sections on the internet that everybody double checks and triple checks and quadruple checks everything to make sure it's accurate. So it's a way to finish it.
I mean, it's an immutable ledger. I mean, think about it as a spreadsheet that just stays on the blockchain forever. And if you know an address, you can go and look at all their transaction history and see.
And again, a blockchain is just basically a platform where everybody in the world can go on and double check everybody's work and make sure nobody's lying and everybody's telling the truth.
Immutable ledger. But think about it as an actual chain, and each section of that chain holds X amount of transactions, and you can view that individual block at its place and time and see all those transactions. And like we talked about with the staking, the delegators, they all verified that these are true transactions.
Everything can be checked. So instead of old school, hey, let me check your credit score, let me check your bank accounts, let me do this. No, just let me know your address, which is safe, and I'm going to make sure that, oh, you want to borrow $1 million for a house? I can just check it, and it's proof right there. Everybody knows in the whole world that what you're saying is true. It doesn't depend on old school stuff.
Exactly. And you're not using one central entity. Anybody can verify it. You don't have to, let's just say, have somebody verify with Bank of America your account balance. You can say, here's my account, and they can go and see, where your
names
balance
out.
is
We're
at.
going to get sued by Bank of America.
Okay, whatever.
If we get sued by Bank of America, it's your fault.
Okay, sorry, Bank of America. My bad.
Sorry, too.
Bank of, whatever. Bank of the world.
Wakawachi.
Yeah, Wakawichi. I hate them. Anyway, but you can do way more with this. I mean, the decentralized finance, there's interest payments on stuff. You can borrow against your assets, which is the biggest thing, I think, is you got these assets, and it typically was reserved for higher net worth individuals.
State again? What's that?
Higher net worth individuals that own stock that need to borrow money will use their stock allocations as,
now I'm stuttering like So, in other words, if you own digital assets, you can actually borrow money off it. So, let's say you have $1 million of digital assets. You can actually borrow roughly at the time 65, 70, 80%
go up to 80%
of that and use it for other purposes
without selling your assets.
So, literally, you can actually, and now that's the next episode, but you can purchase digital assets, stake it, so you're collecting interest on it, say 8, 10, 12%, and then you can borrow that money and use it for other reasons. So, I don't know, kids' college education, you go on vacation, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Buy a house, buy real estate, buy investment properties, you could do other things with it. So, and again, it's not banking hours with transaction fees up to wazoo.
Nope.
And simple.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is why it's here to stay, and it's the smart thing, and this is why you see celebrities and people that have a lot of money. I don't want to name names because they'll probably get sued again.
No, they don't want to get sued
again. Yeah, but they're having laser eyes and they're in on it. This is here to stay. Again, all U.S. banks are nationally chartered and are offering digital asset services now. So
pretty much.
Anyways,
just to give an example, so they're staking, but you can also yield farm and get yield. So just to give an example, like we were talking about for borrowing. If you had Bitcoin, let's just say you had $100,000 in Bitcoin. With Celsius right now, you get, I believe, just over 6%. I think it's 6.2 today on your Bitcoin, paid in Bitcoin. So your interest is actually paid to you in Bitcoin. And then if you wanted to, let's just say, borrow against your $100,000 in Bitcoin to buy, let's just say, a car for $50,000. You could borrow that.
Get a Tesla.
We're just trying to keep it simple,
we'll
man.
do 0-60 in less than 2.
There you go. You could borrow, your 50,000, and depending on the platform you use, you can have it wired into your bank account the same day in U.S. dollars if you want.
Bang, bang, bang. Boom. Nice and simple. Yep.
Done. I mean, you might have to wait for your bank to open in the morning to actually use the dollars that you deposited in it. But
if you're using a U.S. national charter bank, but maybe you're transacting with somebody that says, hey, just here's my wallet, send to the address, and boom, it's there.
International, I think it plays a huge role. Is if you needed to send money to somebody in China or Brazil or Canada, wherever,
right?
You can just do it from your phone in seconds. And
exactly,
just about everybody
you have
in the
to
world
wait
has
till 9 in the morning to go to the bank, and then it's crowded, and then there's not even bankers in there. There's machines that you got to stay in front of, and then you got to pay transaction fees. And so, anyways, but I think we went on about that.
But in different parts of the world, you just don't have access to banks like you have here. But the majority of the people have a smartphone.
No, that's the next episode. But yes, other countries, if you're in a rural area in South America, Africa, United States, anywhere.
Good luck finding an ATM.
Oh, I got to drive an hour to the freaking bank just to do something? You don't have to do that. Boom.
Done.
Get it done on your phone. That's it. So, anyways, we'll see you next episode.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.